Daddy, ooh, beating people with hammers in the basement. Daddy got a hammer. Daddy beating people. Daddy not see. Daddy a gangster. Fibby Q. If you guys never seen that movie, John Q, go check it out. It's hilarious. It's literally our pal Fibbins. It's like our pal Fibbins at like 64 years old. Too fucking funny. Let me share this out. Let's see what channel I'm on. Damn, I'm on my other channel. Hold on. What's up, Co-Train? Let me share this. Hold on a minute. Share this. This is hilarious. I can't see the chat for a sec. I'm just sharing this on my channel. Hold on. Fibby Q. Oh my god. Mabrats one, Bella, Carm, what's going on? MRH, what's up? Did you see that? That was hilarious. This one's exceptionally really funny. Really funny. This is the amazing world of Fibby Q. It's fucking deranged. All right, hold on. I can see the chat now. This one is seriously deranged, people. And this one, he sees his dad be a little precocious Fibby is hiding behind clothes and shit and witnesses his father doing some clippings and whackings and busting hands. It's very disturbing. Very disturbing. Fibby Q. Wow, this is I was a huge Whopper Bears. This is probably one of the funniest ones yet. Besides Date Nights and Hell's Angels and Fibby Goes Gangsta.
After my father, let me just tell you how they met. They met in Providence, in Newport, on the beach. And I've told the story before, but it's just to show you the dichotomy of my parents'
And
relationship.
the story always changes. Not the 5 card Monty thing, that stays the same, but the adopted dad on the boat changes quite often. What's up, Roscoe? Fibby Q.
My father and his buddy John were on the same military ship in Newport, Rhode Island, and John was dating.
Notice he doesn't say that they were on the same Navy ship, but wasn't the adopted dad on that Navy ship too? And this Uncle John with the regatta, Uncle John with the regatta. They like breaking Uncle John's boats just for fun, and they had dreams just for fun.
This girl named Patricia, and he says, let me introduce you to her sister, which I'm not going to tell you my mom's name, but let me introduce you to his sister. She's pretty, there's a bunch of girls in this family, bada bing, bada boom. So my father...
Bada bing, bada boom, there's a bunch of girls in this family, bada bing, bada boom. They're going to put cigarettes out in Jeffrey's head in a few years. When we adopt a little chap named Jeffrey, we're going to dock cigarettes out in his fucking forehead. The new ashtray, it's a new Fibby ashtray coming this fall to your local stores. Don't miss and get a Fibby ashtray. What is a Fibby ashtray? That's our son over there in the cording, bleeding with pus all over him.
And they go down to Newport, and my mother, for some fucking reason, was into 3-card Monte. You take the fucking.
All right, not 5 card, 3 card. I don't know the names of these card things, but 3-card Monte.
Follow the black, follow the black, follow the black. My mother thought she was a fucking whiz at this shit. She really wasn't any good at it. But anyway, she says to my father, she says, why don't you play 3-card Monty with me? My father says, all right. And she says, I tell you what, if you can follow the card and guess the card, you get a wish. My father's like, what the fuck? So she starts doing it. And she goes, where was the red 3 of hearts? And he goes, well, right there in front of me to the left. She goes, oh, you got it. Now make a wish. So my father shuts his eyes. I'm sure he fucking probably rolled his goddamn eyes, to be honest with you. And
very romantic story. Let's see that. What's up, Seymour? Absolute nonsense. Well, who knows about this 3-card Monty stuff? I don't know. Like, some of the stuff's got to be true, right? Like, some of it comes from some truth, I'm guessing, or maybe it's all made up. Who knows? They probably met at a bowling alley.
So they start to walk on the beach or whatever, and my mother says, well, what was your wish? She goes, I wish you would shut the fuck up.
Very romantic, right? That don't sound right. Like, that sounds crazy. It's all from the movies. It could be all from movies, James.
That was it. That was just how it evolved. It turns out his buddy John became my Uncle John. They married into the same family.
That's the Uncle John that they destroyed his boats in New Hampshire from the regatta.
Guys into a big Italian family with a bunch of gangsters.
What a bunch of gangsters. They moved into a bunch of Irish guys married into an Italian family with a bunch of gangsters. What the fuck? He is such a cuck. Oh my God, too funny.
And so that's kind of how. That's not really the story that I wanted to tell. I was
That's not the story I wanted to tell.
thinking about it. The doubloons. So anyway, my father really grew.
Well, the doubloon story. Now, this is amazing right here. We've heard this story a few different times. The other time we heard it, it was the uncle and the dad in the car. Now it's the grandpa and the dad.
Close to my mother's side of the family. He knew who they were, but my father he was in the Navy. He didn't give a shit, whatever.
No, they don't.
But my father used to have to go up to Federal Hill with my grandfather all the time, who would have been his father-in-law. And my grandfather had to.
Now, mind you, he told this story before, but it was the uncle and the dad, not the grandpa.
What I was told they did was, they went on business together. So my father would get into the Cadillac sometimes with him, but for whatever reason, this particular day, my father.
Because you own a Cadillac, don't mean you're a gangster.
My grandfather had left his work truck. Now let me sort of give you a picture of this truck. You know what the UPS trucks look like with the sliding door on the side? Well, it was just a smaller version of that, and it was silver bullet gray. And even to this day, so help me fucking God, before I die, I'm buying a small box truck like that just so I can slide the door.
Slide the door. Picture Fibby just outside of some guy's UPS truck, sliding the door back and forth, looking at the door. That's fucking crazy.
Under that door takes me to a place in my childhood you just don't understand. I actually worked.
It takes me to a place where they were docking cigarettes out in my forehead and kicking me like a hound.
For UPS when I was young, before I fucked my whole life up, and I kept sitting there.
Wait, you worked for? We didn't hear that story before. Fibby's your local UPS driver. Delivery, Sir Fibbins. Was watching. Damn wrong MRE video. Green mask. Oh, the green mask. The turtle mask. Turtle Nation. I look like a Ninja Turtle. I look like fucking Leonardo or Donatello.
I was a driver's assistant or a package handler, and I was doing sliding the door back and forth. This guy Mickey says, "What the fuck you keep sliding the door for?"
I picture Fibby at work. You're a UPS driver, and Fibby's just sliding the door back and forth, sliding the door back and forth. Why don't you be like, all right, I get you like the door sliding, but can you chill the fuck out, right? What's up, Beantown? Amazon crime.
I said, because you don't understand. When I would go places with my grandfather, he would take the work truck, and I would just slide that door. The sound, the smell, it's just.
The door smells when the door's, what was there, a dead fucking cat or a dead fucking possum between that door?
Nostalgic for me. So someday I'm going to buy one of those. I have to. Maybe I'll get a Mob Talk Radio logo on the side, drive that everywhere.
He's going to get a Mob Talk Radio logo on the side of it. Wow. Fibbins is in his own little world.
Let everybody know I'm fucking coming. So my father, for
whatever. Let everybody knows he's coming. Oh, this kid's out of his mind. This is hilarious, though.
Reason. They needed to pick up the truck, and it was on Federal Hill. So my grandfather says, come on, we're going to take the Cadillac, we're going to go down to Federal Hill, whatever the case may be. I'm going to pick up my truck.
Mind you, the truck with all the golden doubloons is just parked on Federal Hill, right? The golden doubloons inside the truck with thousands of dollars in gold is just parked up right on Atwells Avenue. He doesn't know any other streets in Federal Hill anyways. He just knows Atwells Avenue. Fucking idiot. Fucking moron. What's up, Jeffrey? Carol, what's up?
My father's like, all right, but my father knew that going up there was bad news because he knew there was something going on. There had been a big robbery that was all over the news. I mean, massive.
No, he's talking about robbery in Cranston, not Federal Hill. That robbery was in Cranston. He's talking about 1975 robberies that happened in Cranston. They made a movie about it, The Vault or something. I don't know much about it. I just heard it was a robbery. I don't know nothing fucking about that shit.
Massive armed robbery, okay?
But he does, and guess what? His family were involved and did it. And guess who Sylvester Stallone is? My uncle.
My father knew that he was going to go see my grandfather's father, who liked to sit on his porch and drink scotch all fucking.
And now there's a great grandpa, my grandfather's father. Now there's super secret mafia grandpa, great secret mafia grandpa too. Wow. Heard the detectives. Fibby solved the case. Yeah, Fibby's helping him solve cold cases over here. Fucking hilarious.
And smoke cigars. And my father hated scotch, but when my father would go, he would be a gentleman about it, and he would drink the scotch. But my father drank it fast just to get it over and done with. And my grandfather's father, Joe, thought that my father loved scotch. So every time they went, my father would get suckered into drinking glass after glass after glass of scotch. And then
Doesn't that make you sick? Drinking glass after glass of scotch? Wouldn't you throw up? Why don't you just say you don't like it, right? I mean, people are not gonna make you drink it.
My great grandfather Joe would buy my father scotch for like Christmas, and my father would like just throw the shit in the garbage because he just couldn't drink it. So anyway, they went up to
If you could, well, for a guy who can't drink scotch, he drinks a lot of scotch. And for a guy who is a straight edge CIA guy, he's also fucking chopping people's hands up in this thing and everything, beating people with hammers.
And my father was drinking the scotch, and they were talking business in front of my father. And
talking business in front of the dad, the CIA dad, mind you. They're talking business in front of the hologram CIA dad. This is fucking crazy. You have to drink it within a kid like Fibby. You have to drink some Capri Sun with scotch in it. Father, my grandfather's father's uncle's nephew's father's father.
Father told me throughout the years, it was very cloak and dagger conversation. Up, yeah, did you hear about the thing? You know, the thing.
Cloak and dagger. Why would you hear about the thing? Yo, you guys hear about the thing? You know, the thing with the whacking? You hear the clipping went on? What a clipping? A thing. You know, the thing, that thing.
That thing, whatever. And he's like, and my father told me that my great grandfather Joe told my grandfather, trucks where it needs to be, you know, go get it, whatever. So they left the Cadillac to go down the.
His told the other guy, you got to go get a truck. So they're sending CIA daddy, straight edge daddy, Irish straight edge daddy on missions to claim trucks with gold in it. You mean the movie, Burn, exactly. Fucking crazy. Clippings and whackings.
Street, they get into the fucking the box truck, and usually in the box truck was swag, stolen clothes, cigars, whatever.
Yeah, parked right on Atwell's Avenue. There's the box car with golden doubloons and swag in it. What the fuck, man? Fucking crazy.
Like shit my grandfather could get his hands on was back there. And they were driving anyway. They were driving down, I think it was Smith Street, or maybe they were heading towards Smith Street off Modena Ave, took a right onto Smith. Anyway, my grandfather was speeding, which he liked to do. And he hit the car.
Speeding, yeah, that's a great thing to do with all stolen stuff in the car, right? Fucking really street smart. Yeah, the swag. It's like shows a little like two joints on the seat.
At a certain angle, and the truck kind of hopped. And my father told me that on top of the truck and the inside there was like, I don't know what you would compare, like a slide door where you can store stuff. But my father said this fucking door fell and all these gold coins start falling all over the goddamn thing. He's like,
it's raining doubloons, hallelujah, it's raining doubloons. Who was gonna believe that? Number one, I've never seen a truck with in the cab where there's like a fucking hiding spot in the top where you can put thousands of gold coins. Who the fuck would put gold coins in some truck just laying around anywhere, right? Who would do that? That makes no sense. If you got gold, you're not going to leave it in some truck. The last time he told the story, it was in some warehouse or something. What crazy shit.
I was ankle deep in gold coins. So my grandfather pulled.
Now, if he would have said one or two fell out, okay, one or two gold coins, even then it just makes no sense. But they were in their ankles up in gold coins. Like that would have crashed down a long time ago. And what criminal or what person who's going to rob golden coins would hide it in some truck parked out on the street and put it? It just makes no sense. Ankles deep in gold coins.
Over, and he says, "Oh, grab." He said to my father, "Grab the cigar boxes. We'll put them in there, and we'll duct tape it down. We'll be all right." So they're like loading coins in, and my father picked up a coin. And he looked at it, he's like, "Jesus Christ, these are goddamn Spanish doubloons." And he says, he told me, he looked at my grandfather, and my grandfather just raised his eyebrows and goes, "I found them. What are you gonna do?"
I found them. What are you gonna do? I felt like, well, that makes no sense. Spanish doubloons. And he told this story before, but the other time it was the uncle and the dad. But now grandpa's there.
And he ended up giving a coin to my father. Yeah. And says, "You keep that for yourself. Don't tell nobody." Yeah. And it just so happens that in that time period, within weeks of this happening, that there was a massive armed robbery in Providence. You can read about that yourself. And my father always believed that's where the gold.
So he's trying to say that the gold doubloons came from that famous robbery that happened in Cranston back in like the 70s before any of us were born.
coins came from, because it wasn't just Spanish doubloons, it was other things. But he says, Jesus Christ, it was like somebody hit a fucking Joker poker machine lever and we won. He says thousands of gold coins just started dumping.
Thousands of gold coins? Like, I could see if he said there was 10 of them, right? If even then, I'm not believing this story, but thousands, and you're gonna put thousands of gold coins in a cigar box, right? Come on. That's crazy. What's up, Sharon? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was a man-whore. Yeah, made a foiled. Dude, hit crazy. Also, Monster TikTok was also Ghosts. Ghosted Tig. Yeah, they ghosted Tiggy. This story is just outlandish, Jeff. Come on.
Out of the top of his truck.
And always that cringy little laugh. He's sick. Fibby Q.
So that's the doubloon story. The other story is a little weird. Because I talk about my father a lot on this show, and I told you there's been a couple of times my father was violent. Once he tried to choke my hockey coach to death with a tie.
The coach killed a hockey coach with a tie. He said he's not violent, but if there's a guy breaking somebody's hands apart with hammers, I would say they're pretty violent, right? Isn't that like, I don't understand it. Total contradiction. What's up, Cluckers? What's up, Danielle? Red, what's up? Yeah, it's a giant lie. Crazy.
I didn't do that often, but once you push my father to a limit, there was no going back.
All right, how was he pushed to a limit on this one? He's going to tell you that mob guys in Rhode Island would wait till another mob guy dies, and then they would go rob their homes or rob their houses. What? What the fuck?
He would just, like a volcano would erupt. I remember when my grandfather died.
What's up,
one of the things that was typically going on in Providence in those days was mob guys and other guys would look in the paper to see who died. And if they knew the guy who died and they knew the guy had squirreled away a ton of money in the basement, like I told you guys, I found like $250,000 in cash in the basement.
No, he said he didn't find it. He said his grandfather put that money away with Pacific names on it. He said the grandfather, one for charity, one for Fibby, one for Fibby's cousins and all that stuff. And what a sick puppy. For guys in the 70s were looking for other made guys. When they died, they'd rob their homes. What the fuck? Where did you get that from?
My grandfather's house after he died. But one of the things these guys were doing was they're looking at the obituaries, finding out what time the funeral is, and then they go to the house, they kick in the door, and they rob everything. And one of the neighbors, who I'm not going to say his name,
he's not going to say his name because the guy don't exist.
They asked him if he would sit and watch the house instead of going. Now, this is a guy who wasn't a tough guy by any stretch. He wasn't a connected guy, but he knew the family. He knew what they did.
He knew the family knew what they did.
Money in the house, and they could trust him. He was the neighbor. But
they only trust the neighbor with gold. Yeah, everybody trusts their neighbors with gold and stuff. This kid's nuts, man. These stories in his head. Yeah, he's crazy. This is hilarious.
Him there by himself, which really isn't a smart thing to do, especially when at the time, if I found $250,000 in cash, I guarantee you there was more in other places in that house that I didn't know about.
So he found, but he didn't find it. The grandpa left it to everybody. In the other video, he told us the grandfather would put the names on the boxes.
So what ended up happening was he was watching the house, and I remember we're at my grandfather's funeral or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I remember the director of the church, because the priest was our family priest, and he would eat dinner with us on Sundays and stuff like that, which is something you don't hear about.
The family priest would eat dinner with them on Sundays. Give me a fucking... What parish, Jeff? What parish was that? What priest was that? Yeah, okay.
Days, the priest is in the middle of his closing remarks, and everybody's crying, and I'm just inconsolable, and my father's crying. That's the only time my father ever cried.
What were they crying about? I don't understand. Who passed away? I can't even follow this. Who's he even talking about? The neighbor?
Me. I know he cried when my sister died, but when my grandfather died, he completely lost it.
All right, when the grandpa passed away, gotcha.
Shit, my father loved my grandfather. It was so weird.
You're trying to say they were going to rob the grandfather's house? That don't make sense neither.
But that's probably because my dad's father was kind of a piece of shit. But anyway, he's just about closing up, and they're going to take the body to Cranston. That's St. Anne's. That's sort of the mob burial ground where all the mob guys get buried. That's
Oh my God, a mob burial ground where all the mob guys get buried. This guy's a fucking nut.
where all my family's buried.
Like that, Providence is a small place. Most Italians, don't matter if you're a mob guy or you're a UPS man or you're a Judge Caprio, most likely you're getting buried at St. Anne's, okay?
St. Anne's Cemetery.
Unlike Raymond. Raymond wasn't buried at St. Anne's, though. Back in the 80s, they didn't allow it or something like that.
And in Cranston. And somebody walks up to the priest and kind of whispers something in his ear. And all of a sudden, he starts hurrying up what he's got to say, right? So the next thing I know, I'm sitting there, and somebody who I don't know kind of waves at my dad and waves him over. And my dad goes over, then my uncles go over, and he's like, I can tell from the conversation, it's hot.
Dad seems like Tom Hagen. He's making Daddy out to be Tommy Hagen from The Godfather.
But it's like a violent conversation of something really big is going on.
He hears the conversation. It's a violent conversation of something big going on, but he doesn't know. Fucking insane. Fucking insane. Wouldn't you have heard this very well? Yeah, Tom Hagen.
And so my father says, I see him nodding or whatever the case may be, and that there was going to be a delay because of traffic getting the body to Cranston. So my father comes over to me and goes, come on, come with me. And I remember my uncles looking at my father saying, can't take him. You can't.
You can't take him on a whacking. Jeffrey can't do a clipping. Of course he can. Jeffrey can do a clipping. Jeffrey loves whackings.
Kid, but my father's like, he's fine. Don't worry about it.
He's fine. He's a little child. Let's take him to go break someone's hand apart and beat people up. Let's do that. Let's take a little child to go torture somebody.
We get into it. So me, my father, my two uncles, and two other people I'm not going to name all get into it.
I'm not going to name. Oh, my God. Was it Bert and Ernie?
Cadillac, and we're flying on the interstate heading back to Providence. And I can't know what's going on. They're not saying nothing. And the look on my father's face is like,
why would you need to jump on the interstate to get back to Providence if you're in Cranston? Why don't you just shoot down Pecasset Ave and you're right in Silver Lake and boom, there you are. You're on Federal Hill and you can get right to Smith Street.
No, he's upset, but I don't have any clue what's going on. So anyway, we pull up in front of my grandfather.
He has no clue what's going on. He just heard a violent conversation. He just heard a very violent conversation of whackings and clippings.
Father's house. And my father says to me, stay the fuck here. Don't you come in the house. You stay right here.
Now, Liz, now imagine your father telling you that. Stay right here. All little kids are going to go in, right? Why would your father even take you to a place like that? If they were going to go beat a guy up or they're going to go torture people, why would he even be in? Why would they take their child? Fucking sick. Mafia Business Ways, Steve O, South Beach, who helped Secret Mafia Grandpa. It's fucking crazy, right? Well, I don't know, Sharon. Then why did they bring him? Because it never existed. It's crazy. Why would they bring him? If they're going to go torture some guy in a basement, why would you bring a little kid who's probably like 6 years old? Who would do that? Nobody would.
They went in, and a couple of minutes goes by, and I don't see anybody. I don't hear anything. I don't know what's going on. And being a nosy,
he doesn't know what's going on.
Little kid, you don't know. So I walked in front of my grandfather's house, and
this comes from The Sopranos, everybody. When Tony Soprano had a flashback, seeing his dad go into the pork store and beat people. This is crazy, Fib. Fib, you outdid yourself with this one, Fibby Q.
You're screaming coming out of the basement. And I don't see the neighbor. I'm like, where the fuck is the neighbor? So I walk upstairs because at first I can't tell where the screaming's coming from.
Oh my God, the screaming. So they're down there. He wants you to believe that they're down there torturing a guy. And little precocious Fibby is hiding behind clothes watching this torturing thing. Give a break.
And then I end up opening the cellar door, and I go down and I step down. And the thing about these stairs is they're loud, right? But because these guys are all yelling in the basement, they don't hear me tiptoeing, right? As I look, and the way this basement was set up is you went down to the basement, off to the left, there was the boiler room. You went back over to the right, there was a wine cellar, a kitchen, and another bathroom. So I know from where I'm at, they're probably in the kitchen or whatever, at least somewhat near there. So I can sneak around, and there's racks of clothes everywhere, so I can hide behind the clothes and see what's going on. So I go down and I sneak around, but the Problem is, they're not near the kitchen. They're literally at the end of this little corridor. And what I see is I see my neighbor, the neighbor who lived next door to us. He was fine. There was nothing wrong with him. But they've got some other guy.
So the neighbor who lives across the street is watching them torture people. Think about that for a minute. The neighbor across the street is watching dad and uncles and secret mafia cousins torture people. Give me a fucking break, man. Give me a fucking break.
In a chair, and they're beating the piss out of this guy, just punching the dog shit, like taking turns punching the shit out of him. And like, I'm like,
yeah, what was that from Casino? You protect him over Joey Dogs or whatever the fuck the guy's name was. Charlie M. You did this for Charlie M, you motherfucker. Fibby M. Like, what the fuck? Watches Barnyard Porn. This hand story came right out of the Casino. All Sopranos too. Sopranos / Casino. Crazy story. Shout out to King Von.
Holy shit, like, I wish that I could tell you that I was like, yeah, get up. But I was a kid. I was scared shitless. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I didn't see my father.
You didn't know what was going on? I would have caught on what was going on when they were beating a guy. They're torturing some guy profusely. What the fuck?
Where? I heard him, but I didn't see him.
Listen,
all right? So they're just...
What a bullshit artiste. Terrible bullshit artist, though.
On this fucking guy, they're like, where's the fucking money? Where's the fucking money? Who the fuck, who tipped you off? Who said whatever?
Where's the money? Who tipped you off? Who tipped you off? Where's the money? What the fuck?
Who said whatever? Well, turns out somebody that was involved in their circle had planned some sort of let's go break in and steal the money shit. And apparently
they were gonna. So who are they robbing? His grandpa who passed away? They're robbing him? I still don't get who's being robbed here. Where's the money? And I don't know where the money. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's high as a kite on lies.
3 guys had shown up in the car. They sent one in, and the other 2 got scared and took off in the car.
What?
And so they're pounding on this guy, and they want to know who told them what to do, or who was behind it.
Who was behind it? Who told them what to do? What the fuck?
But granted, this guy's getting a beating of his fucking life, and they just want names. And this guy is like not saying nothing. And then I hear my uncle call my father by his first name. And then I hear...
Oh, here comes Tom Hagen. The Irish Tom Hagen comes in with the potato smasher. Here comes Irish Tom Hagen for the kill. He's going to talk now. Irish Tom Hagen's mad.
From my vantage point, I could see enough, but I couldn't see the right...
From his vantage point, he wrote this all in his house.
Right side corner, and then I see my father come out, and now he's in front of me. He's got a hammer in his fucking hand, and I'm not talking about like a regular hammer where you just nail it.
He's not talking about a regular hammer. He's talking about a big mafia hammer, a big mafioso hammer. Wow! Don't ever make CIA Pappy angry. Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, Robert Duvall did a great job. Fibby Duvall, not so much.
Into the wall. He's got one of these handheld sledgehammer things that it's not a sledgehammer, but it's like a fucking mallet. The thing is
now CIA Black Ops dad, who's a normal guy who doesn't like violence or like mobsters, is actively torturing people with sledgehammers. Come on, how does anybody who's gonna believe that? Right? Come on, he's torturing people with sledgehammers. Like, come on, Fibby Q. That's fucking crazy. What the hell? Here, tell me again, what kind of hammer was that? It's a very big mafia hammer. It's a mafioso type of hammer. Fucking crazy.
Fucking humongous. And keep in mind, my father was like 130 fucking goddamn pounds if he was lucky. So they sit this guy, they got him sitting in a chair, they beat the piss out of him, whatever. And my father walks over and goes, who the fuck? And first of all, for my father to even remotely be involved in this nonsense is crazy.
I can see if they said his father, he got a hot shirt, he stole a hot shirt or something, or something small. But to be helping people, torturing somebody with sledgehammers, I would say he was pretty much involved in criminal activity. If he's torturing people, I don't know how on one hand you're going to say my dad didn't like violence or mafia people, and the next moment he's crushing people's hands with big hammers. Fibby, you're crazy.
He didn't like that type of shit, but
he didn't like that type of shit. What? He must have loved it. He's beating some guy with a hand after they've punched the guy, in Fibby's words, 1,000 times, punched his head in, beat him. Now they brought in Irish Tom Hagen with the fucking hammer.
Anyway, my father's like, who the fuck told you about blah, 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 blah? Guy doesn't say.
Who the fuck told you about blah, 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 blah? And who did blah, 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 blah? Where's the blah, 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 blah? Whackings, clippings, blah, 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 blah.
Nothing. My uncle grabs his hand and they put it on a fucking wood crate. Like
they put his hand on a wood crate. Oh, no. And they said to the father, hey, Irish Tom Hagen, blah, 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 the mafia, blah, 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 whackings, clippings, blah, 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 and capos, blah, blah, blah.
Wine crates. And my father said, you're going to give me a fucking name. The guy says nothing. My father...
You're going to give me a name, or I'm going to give you a potato, a hot potato. I'm going to give you some shepherd's fucking pie. Okay? Blah, 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 blah.
Takes this goddamn mallet. I have never seen my father played semi-pro baseball, okay, before he was in the military. I have seen my father swing things before. I have never saw my father swing anything with the velocity of this fucking mallet. And all I heard was...
Now, mind you, they know that they have Fibby outside. The dad, the uncles, they know Fibbins is outside sitting in the car licking a lollipop. They don't go, then they sit there torturing this guy with mallets and shit. This is insanity, but hilarious. Fibby Q, don't go nowhere, Fibby. I don't want you fragile, taking off, running away. We need you right where you are, telling these wonderful stories.
Crunch, and the guy screamed. Then the guy starts telling him everything.
Now he tells him everything. Okay, the 17 punches to the head and all that shit didn't scare him. But soon as Daddy Hagen breaks the guy's hand with a mallet, he tells him everything. This is sick, man. This is sick.
He's telling him everything. Oh, it was so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. We couldn't talk fast enough.
It was blah, 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 blah. Blah did it. Who did it? Blah did it. What family was Blah? And he was with the blah blahs.
And a stupid mistake I make is by trying to move to my right, and I clip my foot off of the clothing rack, and it makes noise, and they all turn around, and my father...
between the screams of this man screaming, they didn't hear Fibby. Nobody heard Fibby. They heard him move to the right, though, after they're torturing this guy, hitting him with hammers and shit. Come on, what a storyteller is right, boy. Why'd you even make these lies up about your dad? Wow, fucking crazy. Dweed Gummer lied about working for Asante on Monday. If you're around, who did? Gummer? He's crazy too. He's not as bad as Fibby, but he's up there too. They steal family members.
Gross. My father tried throwing a mallet to the corner like he wasn't doing nothing. He goes, get the fuck upstairs.
So the father sees Fibby there, and he's like, oh no, I wasn't torturing this guy and breaking his hands. What? This is the CIA dad. Hologram cards. We're 10 levels higher than the president. And he's also Tom Hagen, the bone breaker. Fucking crazy.
I go upstairs. This guy they bring up, I don't know. They put him in. They got into another car. I think they just took the guy somewhere to get help with his hand or whatever because they found out who it was. So
when they found out who it was, they brought him to get help with his hand. Well, who would, number one, why would they do that in front of some neighbor and a child? Or why would they take their son to beat some guy to oblivions, and he's in their grandpa's house? This is fucking sick. So he tried to rob the grandfather's house? I don't get this. I thought Secret Mafia grandpa was a homie and a down-ass G. Why would they try to rob his house? That makes no sense. There was no such thing as people robbing people's houses that died. What the fuck? I know. I never heard nothing like that, right?
Never said a word. I never asked my father nothing. It is what it is.
If anybody's seen their father, I know if I was a little kid and I see my father beating somebody with a hammer, I would have asked him about it. Like, Dad, what the fuck happened? Why'd you do that, Dad? Right? Like, give me a fucking break. Then he tells, years later, the dad tells him about the hammer. This is delusional shit.
There's just certain things you don't ask. And I'll be honest with you, it scared the shit out of me as a kid. So here's what's funny.
It never even happened. That makes Fibby hard as an adult. Now they got a guy just tortured. Yeah, took him. They just tortured some guy. They're taking him to the hospital after they tortured him. Now, if they, let's be honest, if there was really some guy robbing old maid guys' homes, they would have killed his ass. Especially in the 1970s, they would have killed his ass. That guy wouldn't have came out of that basement. His kid's crazy, crazy.
Years and years later, I think my father was
years and years and years later.
like 60. You know, it was just one of those things we never shared. And we had gone on a walk. He was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He didn't have much time left. And he just starts telling me shit. Just starts telling me every fear he ever had, every mistake he ever made. And it was a moment for me where it proved to me that even good men can do bad things. And even bad men can do good things. And my father...
Yeah, no shit. It's called Machiavelli. What a fucking weirdo. So he's trying to make it out his dad's this good guy who tortured people for his mafia family. Nothing of this makes sense. This is crazy.
There wasn't a rule breaker. He was a law-abiding guy.
He's a law-abiding guy who tortures people in basements. Why would mafia grandpa and them take CIA dad, who's a regular Joe Schmo? Why would they take him to torture people with his son in the car? With his little kid in the car. None of that makes sense. Now, this is truly sad. The thing about his yes, it is B1. Yes. How he introduces and tells a story with it using his dad's cancer. It is sad. Right? It is. Like, why would you make that shit up about your dad? You should be proud of your dad for being who he was. Right? Like, shit, man. Well, in his mind, if you're not a mob guy, you're not the pinnacle of manism. So whatever he thinks in his head, you're not a real man, or you're not cool in case you're a mobster. This is sad.
Military guy who loved his country. He never condoned anything bad I ever did. But I'm going to tell you something. My father.
How can he get mad at Fibby for doing anything bad when Fibby literally watched him torture a guy? And he never told this story before. This kid's fucking nuts, man. Wow. Oh, thanks for the cash app.
He never ratted me out. When the cops would show up to my house, and believe me, they showed up frequently, my son never did nothing. My mother, same way. Even though she beat the hell out of me, put cigarettes out of me, and everything else.
What? Fibby's an ashtray. Get your local Fibby ashtray at the local stores. He's an ashtray. Those Dexter Secret Mafia, Dexter only kills bad guys. Yes, it's like Dexter, though. I'd be grateful he even had it. Yes, no shit. He should be grateful he had the dad. Because he told us before that the biological father and the adopted father were on the same Navy ship, right? Fucking crazy. Put cigarettes out on me. Yeah, Fibby ashtray. You can buy your local Fibby ashtray, your Mob Talk Radio ashtray.
Always, my son never did nothing. They didn't rat me out, and they knew I fucking half the shit they knew I did. They weren't.
I remember he said that the mother said, now we got a felon in the family. You remember that? I'll play it I'm going to play that thing this week, matter of fact, on Tom's channel. Remember he said the cops came to the house, and after he was convicted, the mother looked at him and said, oh, great. Now we got a felon in the family. So that totally contradicts Mommy Mafia. You know, Mommy Mafia princess story. Like, her whole family's a bunch of felons. Why would she get mad at Jeff being a felon? Right? Oh, now, great. Now we got a felon in the family. Hey, what happened to Secret Mafia grandpa and all Secret Mafia uncles and cousins? This is deranged. Yes, now he's Phil Leonetti. Oh, he loves Phil.
Stupid. But their son, no, didn't do nothing. You know? That's the way they were.
Wait, he told us the father got shaken down. You all remember that. You watched it right with me. He said the father was shaken down by some local detective for 10 grand. You know, none of this makes sense. Yes, being a felon isn't the flex that he thinks it is. No, it's not. In his world, sadly, it is. That's real sad, man.
Very grateful for that. And so I remember the last kind of walk my father and I ever took.
And this is why the guy Jarrett Ham and all the Virginia Beach guys think Fibby's just crazy and a wacko. Because they all grew up with him down in Virginia Beach, playing hockey in front of his house, basketball, and this shit never happened. They said the mother was never abusive that they've ever seen. They never seen Fibby with bruises or nothing like that.
It was about a week before he died. He had stopped going to work. And he says, come on.
R.I.P. to his dad. Fibby's going to be like, he's making fun of my father, which I'm not. But it's like when you put these crazy stories in there, man, like, come on, right? No one's going to believe that. You described Dad as CIA guy, country war hero, and now he's Tom Hagen beating people with hammers. No one's going to, it contradicts itself, Fibs.
Walk me? I said, sure. And it was a struggle for him to walk, but he did it. And we took the dogs, and they're running down the street.
I wonder what kind of dogs his dad had.
And
there's the sad part. The father was probably a good dude, right? He was a good Navy guy. He was in the Navy and stuff. He probably never thought in a million years his son would make up stories of him being black ops or a mobster or torturing people. What's up, big brother Charles? What's going down? On Fibby's drunken video, he basically implied that his Philly friends don't like him anymore because of MRE posted these videos. I remember him coming on Kane Shade's channel with me and telling me, MRE, the Philly people love you. They love what you're doing in Philadelphia. I was like, oh, thank you. Okay. Thinking in my head, sure they do. Fucking nut.
A lot of things to me that day. And, for some unfortunate reason, that's like a record player in my brain. And it never stops.
It's just sick because here's a guy telling his last walk with his dad or bonding with his dad. And he's lying. It's just terrible to do that, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on, Fibby. That's not cool. Like, why make stories about your dad like that? Fucking sick. Oh my God. I'm confused, Fibby. The mother in Virginia is the one that abused him, reportedly was. Yes, the mother, the adopted mom. Why would the mother adopt him and abuse him like that? I don't believe his mother abused him. Jared Ham said no. He's like, nah, the mother was cool. I never seen the mother abuse him. Or he never told me the mother abused him. We never seen bruises on him or nothing like that. Just weird stuff, man. You want to begin? Yeah, if he was honest, but he's not. He can't help it. I believe this is a sickness for people who lie like this. They can't help it and they believe, not that they believe their lies, but just like John Q, the movie John Q. If you challenge their facade, they don't like it, man. They don't like it. Tiggy and Fibby hate moms. Yes, they hate their mothers for some reason. Who knows why? They have that's why it's so easy them to attack women. Usually dudes with good moms and stuff usually don't have a hatred like maybe some do. I don't know. But people who claim they have bad mothers usually hate women. Usually, but who knows?
And I can hear his voice. It's crazy. I can hear his voice. And I remember everything we talked about. That walk was a 15-minute walk, but it was the best walk of my life.
Wow.
And the reason why it was the best walk of my life was because I was watching a man come to terms with the fact that he was going to die. I was watching a father come to terms with not knowing what to do for his son, worrying that his son, being me, was going to end up in prison the rest of his life.
Why would he think you were going to end up in prison? I don't get it. Why would the father think Jeff's going to end up in prison for the rest of his life? What the fuck? Makes the walk and talks. Yeah, it's fucking cringe, man. Sad, actually, because he's telling the story of his dad's last days, and RIP to the father, right? But come on, why lie like that? That's fucking crazy, dude. Like, the stories are all contradictory. All of them.
Feeling that he wasn't a good enough parent because I made dumb decisions. And I think
you got in trouble when you were younger, but you weren't. I don't know. Was he in trouble when he was on the walk with his dad? Was he indicted on some whacking or some clipping? Right? Fucking crazy. That's beyond stupid statement, Fibby. The death walk is the best 15 minutes. Yeah, crazy. Well, crazy, man. It's a straight sickness, this kind of behavior, man. That's like me coming on and telling you my father was this mob guy cutting people up in a basement. Like, that's just not fucking true. Why would you want to make... It's fucking sick, man. Fucking sick.
Those of you that are listening that are parents have probably... I'm not. I was sort of kind of a parent. I raised somebody's kid.
What?
So I guess she's mine.
Wait, did he just say he raised a kid? He raised somebody's kid and she's his? Whoa, hold on.
I raised somebody's kid, so I guess she's mine. I guess that's the way of looking at it.
Yeah, where did you raise a kid? Wait, when did he become daddy? When was this Make Room for Daddy over here? Now he raised a child? He raised some girl's kid? What the fuck? Oh, my two dads? Come on.
But you always feel guilty for things you could have done better. Maybe you could have been a better example.
I'm sure every parent might feel like that a little, right? I wish I could have made more money for my kid, or I don't know, something like that. But now he raised a child? What the fuck? That's like me telling you I raised my godsons. No, I took them on the weekends. I didn't raise them. What the fuck?
All parents have sort of gone through that sort of phase in their life, wondering if they did everything absolutely right. But we also have to remember, no matter how good you raise the tree, the wind can still knock the tree from left to right.
What? Now he's Hallmark cards? No matter how you raise the tree, the wind can knock it raised to right. What the fuck? This is outlandish, Fibs.
The baby giraffe has to learn how to walk. A baby deer has
Baby giraffe has to learn to walk. What is this, a fable, Fibby? Is this a fable? The fox and the bird are talking.
to learn how to walk, and they're going to stumble. But I watched a man who was very proud, one of the most loving people I've ever met in my life, one of the most honest, come to terms with everything.
Oh, you fell far from the tree then. If your dad's the most honest, you are the most fibbish I've ever seen. It sounds like the beginning of a kid's book. Yeah, it does. It does, like a fable. You know, remember fables when you were a kid? The little fucking animals figuring out who stole the eggcorn in the tree, and you're always a learning experience out of it. This is straight fibby shit. This is straight bullshit.
And come to terms with the fact that he cheated on my mother, which, you know, she was abusing him too. So I mean, it kind of comes with.
He said that before too, that the mother was abusing the dad too. I don't know why he makes his mom out to be this abusive lady.
Territory. But he regretted that because he knew what it put the kids through. There's a lot of regrets. So we continued to walk down the street, just kept talking, and you know, he said a lot of things to me that I still hold dear that I'll never repeat, but things that are
things will never repeat. But he's going to tell you about how Daddy smashed guys' hands open with hammers, not just any hammer, a super duper mafia sledgehammer, super duper hammer. Wow, that's crazy, dude.
Foundation of life. He never believed in ratting. He never believed in telling on people. He always believed if you gave somebody your word, that was it. You didn't break it. He always believed you were loyal to the people that treated you kind, and that you never, ever, ever told on anybody.
Wow, this is just something, man. This is just something. Wow, utter bullshit. Super Mob Sledgehammer in Arizona for 1995. That's funny.
If you're man enough to do it, be man enough to take the consequences, and that has stayed with me my whole life.
You know, wow, that stayed with him his whole life. Wow, this kid is a fucking character, boy. Fibby, you're probably one of the funniest motherfuckers on YouTube. Hands down. I give it to Fibby all day long. Fibby Tales is extraordinaire fucking gold, man. This shit is hilarious.
And we're coming back, and all of a sudden he just says, hey, when you were a kid, remember that thing?
Listen.
Well, there's a million things. That basement was like my little play place, you know? I did all kinds of stuff down there. He says, no. You remember that day you were hiding behind the rack or whatever? I say, yeah.
The sledgehammer story. Remember the day you were hiding behind the rack? What a shame. To lie about your father like this is disgusting, man. Is the R.I.P. to Fibby's dad. Big time R.I.P. But this is disgusting. You should have more respect for your father, dude. This is fucking utterly disgusting. If you were my brother or cousin, I'd whoop your ass.
I always kind of wanted to ask you about it, but he goes, no, you were
This is why his family don't like him. Because he's told all this shit on YouTube, and I guess people got a hold of his family members years and years ago. They got a hold of the family members. And the brothers and shit were like, he's full of shit. He's a liar.
All of a sudden, he just says, hey, when you were a kid, remember that thing? Well,
remember that thing, me torturing some guy in the basement, Fibby?
There's a million things. That basement was like my little play place, you know? I did all kinds of stuff down there. He says, no. You remember that day you were hiding behind the rack or whatever? I say, yeah. I always kind of wanted to ask you about it, but he goes, no. You were right by not asking.
You were right by not asking. What little kid wouldn't ask? Let's put yourself in that position. You just seen your father and your uncles torturing somebody, beating them with sledgehammers and all shit like that. You're not going to ask them what happened? That's your little kid? What bullshit. I was a curious little motherfucker when I was little. I seen my father do something, I'd ask him all kinds of questions, man.
He said, I don't like what they do. I don't like what they did. I don't like how they made their money, but that's them.
What? To see where this don't make sense. I don't like them. I don't like their money. I don't like what they did, but that's them. It's like, Dad, I seen you torture somebody. You liked it too. Like, what are you talking about? Why were you beating someone's with a sledgehammer? Oh my God. This is sad, man. That's sad. I almost don't even like playing this. Like, it makes me feel uncomfortable.
But they do. That's how we made a living.
What?
That's not my way of living. That's not what I want for you, your brothers, or your cousins.
Then why'd you take him? If you didn't want that for you, why'd you take him to that house? Why would they take him? Remember, the uncle said, "Why we're going to take him?" He's like, "Yeah, we're going to take him." Why would you? If you knew you were going to beat some guy, you had some guy tied up in a basement. Why would you take your 7-year-old kid? Why?
But it is what it is. We are family.
We are family.
And we don't tell on each other, and we mind our business.
Right. Well, we don't tell on each other. Then why were you torturing the guy, Dad? Like, what? That's fucking crazy.
Even after all the years of being divorced from my mother, he still had a respect for them and a love for them. After everything. Plus, he didn't hold
What
them
about the regatta? He didn't love the Uncle John. He sank his boat.
accountable for me, and he didn't hold them accountable for the way my mother was a fucking psychopath.
What?
But he said, "Do you want to know why I did what I did that day?" I said, "If you want to tell me." He goes, "Well, I'd love to tell you it was because I wanted to be a gangster." He goes, "But you know me, I'm a pussy. I'm scared of that shit."
What?
I said, "Okay, then why'd you do it?" He said, "Because I loved your grandfather."
What? Because I'm a pussy? What the fuck? Because I loved your grandpa? So I guess he's trying to say that they robbed the grandpa's house when he died? People robbed the grandpa's house? This is fucking twisted, man. This is sick.
And he was taking something that your grandfather earned, regardless of how he got it. You don't steal from that man, and you don't steal from this family. Do you understand why I did it now? I said, "Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it." And then I finally
Why
got
don't you just let the gangsters take care of the gangster shit, right? Why would they? All right, why would those gangsters take Irish brother-in-law or whatever to do something like that? That's fucking crazy, man. Fibby, this is crazy.
it clicked for me. It wasn't about being a gangster. It wasn't about protecting necessarily what was yours. It was about honor and integrity.
Integrity? Honor for what? Honor and integrity. So he had to beat the guy with a sledgehammer? Like, what the fuck? I thought he was a CIA dude.
Don't take from us.
Us.
You crumb bum.
You crumb bum.
And that's just kind of what happened.
Wow.
And that's what my father did. And then he told me about a story about using C4 and dynamite to kill barracuda in the Florida Keys with my cousin Georgie, who was a complete fucking gangster and degenerate.
Cousin Georgie, the gangster who threw the grenade and limps with it. He limps and he throws grenades and his arm got blown off from throwing the grenade. No, this is crazy, Fibby. This is fucking bad shit.
Georgie wanted to go fishing, showed up at the Florida Keys unannounced. And you know how I found out about this story, and then we're going to get out of here. I was at another funeral back in Providence. My cousin Georgie said, "Take a ride with me." And before I left, my uncles all warned me.
What's up, Angela? He's always at funerals in Providence. He's always at these funerals in Providence and stuff. It's like, dude, you're not even from here. You fucking sick puppy. Wow.
Don't go with him. He's going to get you rope and dope into collecting his money. Don't do it.
Which I didn't get your rope and dope collectors. Jeff was a bookie in Providence. This kid's got more fucking stories than Walt fucking Disney, man. More fucking stories than Walt Disney.
But we're on the freeway doing, 55, 65 miles an hour. And he's saying, "Oh, Jeffrey, you don't remember the old days. Things were so good. Things were so different. Now everybody's dying. My legs are fucking mush." He was like a career complainer. You feel me? But he's very wealthy, a very dangerous guy, very capable guy.
You just called him a degenerate and an idiot, and now he's a very capable guy. He's fucking sick. Brooklyn Bounce, what's up, man? Yeah, the old days. Well, how cringy. How cringy is this? And like the old wise guys didn't even talk like this. They didn't even talk like this. This kid's fucking nuts, man. All from movies, man. This kid watched too many movies like Cable Guy.
He says, yeah, he goes, I really miss your father. I haven't seen him in like 25 years. It's a shame what happened with you. You know, your mother and him, because your grandfather loved him. We all love him. He's like the sibling we never had. He was the stand-up guy. Your father, he's great. He goes, give me his number. I said, what? Yeah, give me his number. And I'm like, oh, this ought to be hilarious. So I give him the phone number. And rather than Georgie like pull over to the fucking emergency exit or the fucking, off ramp or whatever, he slows up to 10 miles an hour on the goddamn interstate in Providence. 95. I think we were going to Woonsocket or we were going to Warwick. I can't remember where we were going.
Warwick and Woonsocket are two opposite ways. Warwick is way up. I mean, Woonsocket is way up northern Rhode Island. Warwick is almost like southern Rhode Island almost. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
But he wanted me to pick up something for him. But
they want him to pick something up. If you notice, he's always sent on a secret mafia mission somewhere. No matter if he's in Philadelphia, New York, Providence, Fibby Q is always on a secret mafia mission.
My father on his speakerphone in the car. And that was a new thing, like the speakerphone in the car deal back in the day. And
back in the day. So what year is he talking about? Speakerphones and cars? I know what he's talking. I don't know what year he could be, but this kid's delusional. Oh, this is crazy.
Father, I hear my father pick up. He goes, hello. And Georgie's like, he says, he called my father by his nickname, Dickie. Son, Dickie baby, remember in 1972, I came down to the motherfucking Keys.
Dickie baby, remember I came 1972 to the Keys. This is crazy.
And we used C4 and dynamite to kill all them fucking fish. You remember them days? I brought the...
Well, what about the memory of the bashing the guy's hands open with sledgehammers? This is crazy. Yeah, he goes on a secret mafia mission every hour and a half. This kid's fucking crazy.
I brought all the guns down. We moved them. My father's like, Jesus Christ, Georgie.
Wait a minute. CIA daddy's now moving guns too? I would say he's gangster daddy. If Daddy Hagen, the potato Hagen, is literally smashing people's hands apart with sledgehammers, he's moving guns. What the fuck? Oh, this kid's imagination is tapped, bro.
You and George says, yeah, of course it's me, Dickie baby. How do you not know who this is and all this shit? My father's like,
remember me? I took all the guns down in '75, baby. You don't know it's me, Dickie baby. Moldesanti, Dickie Moldesanti. You don't know it's me. Whoa, fucking crackpot, bro. You are a crackpot.
You calling me on a cell phone? He's like, yeah, I got your kid here. And all my...
So it's in a cell phone. So that must have been the 90s, right? Cell phones, 98, 97 maybe. I never seen Fibby up the neighborhood. Never. I used to play basketball at Ridge Street Park all the time. My grandmother lived on Penn Street. My cousins lived on Grove and Elmy and Knight Street. I never seen you up there.
All I said was, Jeff, don't go anywhere with Georgie. He goes, get out of the car, get a cab, and Georgie starts cracking up. But Georgie was willing to start talking about all kinds of illegal shit that was going on the phone. He didn't give a fuck. God rest his soul. I love Georgie. He's a great guy.
All right, so Mafia Georgie doesn't care. He's talking about crimes on the phone. Secret Mafia Georgie. Who the fuck Secret Mafia Georgie? I never heard of a guy over here with one arm who got it blown off from throwing a grenade in the car. I never heard of someone named Georgie like that. I like, what the fuck? Like I said, this is a pretty small city and small state where I'm from. I never heard of Secret Mafia Georgie. That's fucking crazy, Fibs.
Great guy. I remember after my father died, there was another funeral, and I saw Georgie.
Another funeral. What's up, TT? Another funeral. All these funerals happened in this is crazy. His last steam coming out of his ears. Nadu and Proctor. What's he still hate them too? He hates Proctor. He loved Proctor before James' channel overtook his channel. Ray Liotta slapping against the shower, yelling, Fibby! Fibby! Yeah, that's Liotta. That's Fibby.
He looked horrible. I hadn't taken care of himself. I didn't know him, but he was dying. And, I remember he was sitting over by himself at this reception. It was a wedding. It was my cousin's wedding. And I remember seeing him and sitting down. So I was, George, how you doing? He said, Chef, my legs are mush. I'm fucking, I don't got long left. So I really miss your dad. And he starts just crying,
What?
And, is he all right, George? He said, I just miss your father. Everybody does. He was such a great guy. He's funny. He did so many things with us. And I'm like, I looked at him and said, George, I don't want to know. He goes, no.
Once again, he's alluding that the father, and God rest his soul, did so many illegal things with Mafia cousin Georgie, The vengeance of Secret Mafia Grandpa's house. Number one, why would they break in Secret Mafia Grandpa's house? He's supposed to be Secret Mafia Grandpa with friends and he's respected. Why would they break in his house? He's trying to tell people that in Rhode Island, all the mob guys would break into each other's houses when they died. What the fuck? What are you talking about? And they went and they broke in the grandpa's house. And within that same day, they found out who did it, right? So within, well, say the grandpa passes away, right? What, 3 days, 2 days to the wake of the funeral. So in those 3 days, they found the guy, busted his hands. Like, what the fuck?
Your father was a good man. He said, but in a pinch, your dad was a good wheelman. Your dad was a good guy.
Wow, in a pinch, he was a good wheelman. It sounded like the guy was into a whole lot of street shit. And for what Fibby's telling us right here, like, what the fuck? He was a good guy in a pinch? What does that even mean? Hey, we can't find nobody to take us on this heist. Let's call up the Irish cousin who works as a fucking Navy guy. What the fuck? And CIA. Because that's his own words. He was a CIA dude.
That was tough. And I was like, I don't want to fucking know. You know what I mean?
Of course he would want to know.
Not that my father did gangster shit. He really didn't. But my father helped
out.
No,
you're going to say your dad didn't do gangster shit after just telling us he did gangster shit. Like, what the hell?
When they needed it or whatever. And George, he goes, he was the only Irish guy that was really Italian secretly. He goes, Jeff, on his skin and the way he looked, he was very Irish, but in his heart, he was Italian. And that's
wow. In his heart, he was Italian. What the fuck? Wow, that's fucking crazy. That AI video of Fibby makes him look like a stalker creep. His weird-looking eyes, the way he stares, similar to the way he used to stare at Stevie Mazzone inside his own restaurant. Yeah, he would go to these guys' restaurants. He's sick.
All that mattered. It's all that mattered to them. In his heart, he was Italian.
What is that? In his heart, he was Italian? What the fuck? Don't get me wrong. Is there some people who grew up with Italians and, they may be French, Irish or something, or even black or whatever. They hang with a bunch of Italian guys and they take on some of the lingo and shit. Yeah, if wherever you grow up, I'm sure. But this is crazy. He was secretly Italian in his heart? Like, what the fuck?
But I just remember...
Mind you, these people are not even Italian. He's got a Lebanese name and a Jewish name. And I'm not making fun of Lebanese or Jewish people, but I'm just saying the last names on his mom's family, there's no Italian names. Just Lebanese and Jewish, whatever.
I'm talking about my father with just great love and affection. And that's a sign of a good man. My father used to always tell me, Jeff, that the sign
Fibby's heart, he's a Rickard. Yeah, Fibby's Rickarded in his heart. Down low, he's a Rickard.
True good human being. It's not how many people they come to the funeral to say goodbye. It's years later when they're already gone that people have still not recovered from that loss. And that's the way it was when my father went. Still to this day, I got friends I haven't seen in 30 years or 20 years that will still tell me stories about what my father did for them that I didn't even know about. Put money in their pockets when he ran into them accidentally, and they just, they didn't have parents. And so they had nothing. And my father would bump into them at a store, and they would be buying bubble gum, and he would say, "Have you eaten?" They'd be like, "Well, not really."
Wait, they were buying bubble gum? So in Virginia Beach, there was hungry little orphan kids who were just hungry and didn't eat. Hey, they're buying bubble gum. Here you go. Go buy yourself some food. Like, what is he talking about? This is hungry little kids who didn't eat? What is he talking about? Wow.
Father would say, what do you need? My father would just give him $50, $100. Say, get yourself groceries. Get yourself something, please. And if you need
yourself groceries to a little kid buying bubble gum? That's just weird.
Let me know. These are things my father did I never knew about. And that's why I give to people, too. That's just what you're supposed to do.
Man, that's why he gives to people, too. He gives to Pierre. He's always given to Pierre.
All that being said, after being 45 years on this earth, there's a lot of things I've learned.
So Fibby was 45 when he told this story. This is this is old story right here. This is probably told 6-7 years ago by the Fibster. Wow, we're helping Fibby with his lies, Oliver Twist. We're helping Fibby with his lies here, cleaning up his lies. This is crazy. You watch Dad beat some dude with a hammer? What the fuck?
But I think the most important lesson, because people ask me all the time, and I mentioned this, I think, on Instagram. What's the most important thing that you've learned in 45 years of life? And that's
Don't tell lies.
To make this place better. Leave it better.
Leave it better.
Leave it better for you being a part of it. Leave your mark. Let the good outweigh the bad.
Lie about your family members. Tell everybody that they're CIA mobsters and secret mafia. Grandpa's house was broken into, and they had the guy tied up in the basement. And they leave the wake, and they take 7-year-old Jeff to where the guy's being tortured, and they're torturing him inside the grandfather's house. Wait a minute. So, I'm not a criminal, but I'm guessing if me and my friends wanted to take somebody to torture them, which is sick, but wouldn't you take them to some secluded spot where nobody's going to see you, right? Not where the neighbor's going to be watching and the little kid? That's fucking bizarre shit, man. He's writing his memoirs. Oh, what a crazy person. KD, right? Like put your head inside of somebody who was like kind of torture somebody, right? For breaking in a house. Why would you take him to your house where your kids are and stuff? That makes no sense. It's crazy.
But there's going to be bad. There's going to be bad. It's just reality. And the second most important thing that if I could ever give anybody advice, is don't let people's words or aspirations or designs or goals be yours.
What? Don't let other people's lives and aspirations. That's just what you've done. You've taken other people's families and make these lies up. That's why your own family despises you. Jeez, picture being some hardworking Navy family or whatever, and your son's on the internet telling everybody he's a mobster. Fucking sick. Yes, Sharon caught that just like I did. Oh my God, that's exactly what he does. Yes. Yeah, you can't do them better. Fucking crazy. Crazy.
Your parents, if they were good, bad, or indifferent, had their goals. They lived their life. Some of you have never lived yours.
What?
Live your life.
Live your life. Another Hallmark card. He's always doing Hallmark cards. Fibby the wise man.
Do something for yourself. And if you have kids, it's okay to want things for them and want them to exceed. But the smartest thing you can do as a parent is let them do what makes them happy.
Well, yeah, just let them do it. Just let your kid do what makes them happy. Yes, like go burn something down. If the little kid wants to go torch a house, let him do it, right? If the little kid wants to climb a barn, let him climb the barn, even if he falls and breaks his neck. Just let him do what makes him happy. If my mother would have went by that, me and my little friends would have been shooting cars with BB guns and all weird stuff. Do what makes them happy. What? A little kid, what the fuck? I would have had 20 dogs in my house. Yeah, do what makes you happy. I would have had 20 new puppies every day, new dogs and shit. My mother would kick my ass if I brought home new dogs every day. Well, she did.
When you push grades, you push the great college, you push all of these things. Are you pushing because you feel like that's the only way they can succeed?
What about the child you raised, Fibby? Fibby raised a kid now. Fibby's daddy next door.
Or is that what makes you happy? It can't be about your happiness. If they're good kids, they're safe, they're going to figure it out. You leaning on them?
No, they're not going to figure it out. You must push your religion and your beliefs on your children. Because if you don't teach your kids, then someone else is going to teach them. The communist school system is going to teach them. This is weird. Radio compulsive liars and mental. Yeah, Dal, that was weird. I wonder if he told this one to the daughter that he basically raised. Yeah, like what? How do you raise a kid? That's like me coming on and saying I raised my God's children. I would see my godsons on the weekends. That don't mean I raised them. What the fuck? That's some weird shit, man. Weird. He raised a kid now?
You directing them? Sure, it helps, but it hinders.
You have to direct your children. Imagine just letting the kids just find their own way in life, right? Fucking what the fuck? You got to direct your children. That's why they're kids. You teach them.
More than it helps. And for those of you that are like me that had an abusive parent that put things in your brain.
Put cigarettes out in your head. He actually claimed that the mother put cigarettes out on him, which contradicts his Secret Mafia grandpa story that nobody will ever hurt you. It's just weird. This kid's crazy, man. Drunken Fibby is the best, without a doubt. Where would we be without Drunken Fibs?
That made you feel inadequate. Unfortunately, I'd love to tell you that you can change the light bulb, but you can't.
What?
You cannot get unfucked. But
what? You can't change a light bulb? You cannot get unfucked? What is he talking about? Fibby's Hallmark cards are crazy. Oh my God. It's coming soon, called Fibby Daycare Chronicles. Anthony's a sick bastard. Oh man, JJ, how's it going? Fucking crazy. I'm giving you a wrench so I know it's you when you pop in. Wow. Why lie? Here's the thing: is just why make lies up about your family? And like, that was crazy. His grandfather passes away, God rest his soul. So people are breaking in the house before the wake, even. They're breaking in the house. I thought he was well liked and had friends. Like, why would they be breaking in his house? And if they broke in the house, they didn't find that money, all the money that he found. It's just crazy, man. Just crazy to make up lies like this about your family. Really is. Be proud of who your mom and dad is.
Can do is realize that you weren't born into this world to be anybody's kick post. You weren't born in this world to be bullied.
Fibby's leading like a kickstand. Wow. Wow, this is sick. You weren't born to be bullied? Like, what?
You weren't born in this world to believe that you were worthless. That was put into your head. And the second...
Who put that into his head, that he was worthless? I don't believe that his mom was this mean lady who bullied him and beat him. The sirens in Providence are always going. The doubloon story was crazy, dude. That doubloon story was crazy. Stacks exposed that Fibby just used Tony Soprano fake motivational quotes from The Sopranos like he made up. When did he do that? He did that before. Remember, Stacks did a great video. I streamed it before when with the Marlino meltdown. That was real funny. That was crazy. In the interview, he said that there was in the other interview, he said that it was north of 40 million in the basement. Yes, I remember that. Yes, he would find them in boxes, and they said they were ones to charity, ones to this family member, ones to that family member. That's just insane. How about the pissing in the pecan? That was degenerate. If that's even true, who knows what's true and what's not true with this psycho? This dude's crazy. This was really troubling to listen to. Like, wow, Fibby Q.
Did you realize these were things that were designed to hurt you because of whatever inadequacy or anger these people had?
What was he talking about? Inadequacy and angry and inadequacy? What was he talking about? If a dime bag gets sold on Federal Hill, Fibby gets a cut. That's so funny. Here's the funny thing. He says that his grandfather's from Federal Hill, but he lives on Charles Street in the Newport. It's like, what the fuck? I don't believe nobody broke into his grandpa's house. That's full of shit. Why would someone break into his number one, the grandfather wasn't even a mob guy. That's really sick. Really sick. It's very concerning. All his lives is mine. That dude's got a hell of imagination. I'll tell you that. One hell of an imagination. A world of pure imagination.
Turn the corner.
Now, he'll say that we were making fun of his dad and stuff. Nobody's making fun of anybody's family members who passed away. But when you come on here and tell these crazy lies, it's like, come on, man. They're contradictory. In the other video, the dad was a Navy guy and a CIA guy. You're knocking, what do you say, taking out dictators and shit. It's fucking sick. No one knows Fibby, dude, or his family. They don't exist. Nobody knows him around here. Nobody. And the grandfather was a Lebanese businessman. He was a hardworking Lebanese dude. Like, we got a big Christian Lebanese community in Rhode Island. They're hardworking people. If anybody made lies up and said that their dad was some gangster, they'd be upset. Like, why would you make that lie up?
The old saying goes, if you're told you're a piece of shit your whole life, what do you become? You become a piece of shit.
And that's what happened with you, Jeff, evidently. Whoever said you were a piece of shit, you really became that piece of shit. The Rickard. What does the Rickard do too? Red. This was disturbing, this video. His grandfather was anything on Federal Hill, and he would know. Yeah, everybody would know him. This is a small area, dude. This is a small area. Everybody would have known real fast. Other people from Virginia Beach know. Yes, Jared Ham knows him. And a few of the Virginia Beach. That's why they were totally like, what the hell's going on? Like, what's Jeff doing? He just totally wrote a script. Fucking crazy. I thought that was very disturbing when he's like, his father, like, all right, let's run this back for a minute. So the grandfather's house gets broken into. They catch the guy. The grandpa passes away. Say the funeral's in a couple of days, the wake. Right after the wake, they have the guy tied in the basement and they take their son with them to torture him. Come on, give me a fucking break. Who's believing that? That's crazy, Fibby. Virginia Beach sounds like a way. Yeah, Virginia Beach sounds like a nice place. It was like a military town, right? A lot of people like his dad or Navy dads and shit. Just wherever you're from, you should be proud of that shit and not try to make up. No, Gorky's not from Providence. He's from Pennsylvania. Gorky. I think he was just another Philadelphia fan boy when Fibby met him. They both wanted to go to restaurants they thought were owned by mobsters or whatever. Pretty sick.
So the greatest lesson in life that I've learned is that you have to be true to yourself.
Wow. Did you just hear that? Mind you, this is shit. He said he was 45 years old. So this was a long time ago he was telling these whoppers. Did Gorky ditch him? I don't know. I'm not sure if Gorky ditched him or not. I have no idea. I don't think I've seen Gorky on any of the Fibby tales lately. Right? Such insight. Yeah, Black Hat music. You got to fib yourself. Yeah, that's crazy, man. This kid is a king of lies. The city's pumping tonight. All these ambulances and shit. Probably a lot of car accidents because of this weather.
Not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody likes Jeff Canarsie, the podcaster.
Jeffrey Lohman. Not everybody likes Jeffrey Canarsie, the podcaster. It's not even your last name. He also lied about that. He said he took the name Canarsie because he was born in Canarsie, Brooklyn. Then he changed it and said he never said that. And he might have been born there again. I don't know. Wow, that's crazy. Words of wisdom. Oh, it's crazy. Getting shot twice. Yes, he said he was shot twice. Now, if a guy like this was shot, he would have showed bullet wounds. He would have wore that like a badge of honor. He wasn't shot twice. Who the hell makes that stuff up? And you look ridiculous. I'm sorry. Any grown man out there making up stories that he was shot or just to look tough and cool is very pathetic. It makes you pity them. Like people ask me, you must hate this guy. No, I pity him. I don't have no hatred towards him whatsoever. I think he's sick and amusing. I think he's hilarious. I think he's downright hilarious. I get a kick out of this shit. But I do pity the poor bastard. I really do. Because if you have to make up all this stuff, that means it was pretty sad growing up, I guess. I don't know what could be the case with this kid. The world would be pictures of the gunshot wound instead of the ketchup. You bet your ass they would, Rat Trap. Yes. He lived in Brooklyn to the age of 10. Yes, he lived in Brooklyn to the age of 10. That's right. Milwaukee. You must have went to Batters and Jane's Fibby school like I did. Yes, he lived there till he was 10. It's like, dude, you're from Virginia Beach. You might have went up to see I don't even believe he's been up to Rhode Island. I don't even really believe he visited here as a kid even. But he might have came here maybe once, if that. That don't mean you're from someplace. Kid's nuts. He is a gold mine. with a BB gun when we were kids. Does that count? Yeah, I got shot in the ass with pellet guns when I was a kid. We used to have little BB gun fights, but then no, that don't count as a shooting. No, but in Fibby's world, it does. Maybe that's what he means. Maybe he was shot with a pellet gun as a kid, right? How many little kids would get pellet guns and shoot their pals in the leg or shoot their little brother in the foot? Stupid shit like that, right? With a pellet gun. What's up, Ian? I don't think he's ever been there. I think he figured that it would be the best city to claim. Well, I believe his family were from here, though. Yes, I believe his mom was born here. I believe the mother was born up here, and that's it. Because he didn't go to school up here. He doesn't know a fucking soul up here. And this is a very small area, Rhode Island. You know, like there's a dude that was watching my channel. Shout out to Jits out there, where he was watching this for 3-4 years. I knew him on here, and we didn't even realize we knew mutual people in Rhode Island. We knew mutual people. That's how small this state is, where everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows everybody's business. This is a small state where if you were from here, you're gonna have friends that you went to school with. This is a small area, you know. Only to sit on a stoop and cry that he missed. Yes, he took. I forget who it was, but he stopped on a stoop in Federal Hill with somebody, and he got out and started crying, saying how much he missed the neighborhood. And he said there was people threatening him and swearing or something. So the neighborhood was real dangerous. It's like, no, it wasn't dangerous. In 2012 or 11, it was that gentrification. All the hippies are moving in. Crazy. Yeah, Rhode Island's a smaller state. And where he's claiming he's from, Providence, Rhode Island, is very small, especially the Italian areas. All the Italian people, even non-Italians, everyone knows each other, man. Or if you don't know them, you know a cousin of theirs or something like that. You know, like crazy. He made members in Philly. Yeah, he said the Philadelphia people called up the Providence people and said he was okay. That's really disturbing. I thought this one was really funny, the Fibby Q one. He's been hinting about being recognized. He's been hinting about being recognized in Philly. I don't know what made him fall in love with the Philadelphia people. It might have been the Joey Marlino guy. Like Marlino always being on like A&E or news clips and stuff. He probably just like fell for him. It's like if the last thing I do in this world, I gotta meet this man or befriend him somehow. Oh wait, he's got a court case coming up in a few weeks. That's it. I'll go to the court case and I'll be a journalist. And every time he goes outside to have a cigarette, I'll follow him. And when he drops his cigarette butts, I'll keep them and get them laminated, or I might eat them. Fucking crazy. Yes, he had a crush on Joey, brought him to Philly. Fucking crazy. Around from the start. Yeah, JJ's been around for a long time. With that cool ass red fedora. Probably never expected Joey to go on YouTube. You probably never thought he would go on YouTube, yeah. But here's the thing though. The guy Marlino didn't like talk shit about him for no reason. Fibby went nuts because he didn't get a shout out. All because he didn't get a shout out. He lost his mind. He wanted accolades. Someone would know him if he was from Rhode Island. Yes, Ian. And I would be honest. I wouldn't lie. You know, if somebody said, hey, yeah, he really went to school up here, or somebody knew him, I'd be like, okay, all right. You know, everything else is a lie, but, you know, he was from up here, but he's not. We've seen his yearbook pictures. You know? Yes, very jealous of JTP he was. Yeah, super jealous of JTP. He used to worship JTP in the beginning. He loved him. He said he was a great guy. His dad got railroaded. The other guys got railroaded. And then when he asked to be part of the We Push Back and JTP said no, he just didn't like him automatically. And then when JTP started working with Joey, doing stuff on YouTube, the rat stuff and all that stuff, he went nuts, man. He lost his mind. JTP's still around. He's still around. Give his channel a sub, Justice Tech Pros. He's still around. He'll watch like dog videos and stuff like that. He'll pop up. I'll see him comment and stuff. But you don't really get into all this shit or watch it. You don't waste his time. Romper Stomper Choppy, Fibby done mischief. He's crazy. Greg Boston. Yeah, he tried to. Milwaukee. He tried to have a guy on from Boston to prove he was from Rhode Island, which makes no sense. That's like me saying I'm going to prove to you I'm from Pennsylvania with this guy from Hawaii, right? Let's see what Joe said. Who remembers and tells a story like if he wrote it on a piece of paper? Yeah, and how about blah 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 blah? They heard the guy was going to go kill blah blah blah, and then blah 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 did blah 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 to blah blah blah. It's fucking crazy. That paperwork. I sent him that paperwork, and he shouts out, "We push back." Yeah, he wants accolades. He wants to be patted on the head, and that's why he hates Marlino and JTP because he goes on his channel. That's why it's weird shit, man. Weird. She's like, he got a shout out. I didn't get no shout out. Who needs a shout out? Who needs someone to pat you on the head? It's just a weird Joey obsession. That's what it all comes down to. Is I love Joey. I want Joey. Joey, marry me. Real Housewives of Margaritaville. Time. Yes, he's opened up baseball card shops. He don't got time for that shit. But Fibby still hates the jealousy, man. The jealousy. Jealousy. Yeah, they got Rip 'em Sports or Rip It Sports, so you can go buy cards, all kinds of cool shit. But Fibby's just a very hateful dude. This video took me back, though. This was just like, wow. This was like, wow. Yes, he wanted Joey's public acknowledgement to validate his lies and bullshit. Sharon's one wise woman. Yes, that's exactly. Who do you think's worse, Fibby or Durkee? I would say Durkee's more tardish. Durkee's more of a tard. I would say Fibby's worse because Fibby knows, like Durkee can't help but lying. He's like mentally ill. Fibby's a little different. Fibby knows he's full of shit. He just don't care. It's just like, I guess it's like you're all in on the lie. You're all in on it. It's sad though. Very, very twisted. This was hilarious though. This was very funny, this video right here. Yeah, Dirk's slow. Well, remember what VB said? He's retarded. So he's like, Loman's not legitimately tardish. He's not legitimately a tard, right? He knows he's lying and stuff. He's just a sick liar. He can't keep up. Fibby can't keep up with his fibs. It's kind of hard, right? Who could? How could you keep up with all those fibs? And so we're reminding him of some of these fibs where he's going to have to switch his fibs up. Fib it up, fib it down, fib it all around. The stories get retarded. Like, yeah, they do. They're pretty sick. This one I found ultra sick because breaking into the grandpa's house, because there was a thing he said where they would always break into people's homes. Like, what? How would that work? How would that work for an organization? Yeah, every time somebody dies, we're going to go rob their house. Like, what? Give me a break. Especially back in the 70s like that. No way. Read your last comment. All right, hold on. I was watching a show from a few years ago. Somebody said they were on your moderators. Dirk said, see, that's one of my gamer friends, my moderators from the game. Yeah, I think that was Dustin757. I took his name and I became Rustin757. Chevy gave me that name. Shout out to Chevy, triple nickel. He gave me that name. He's like, you got your Dustin, we got our Rustin. And I changed the name. I forget what I had up first. I forget. That was funny. Sing a dead man's jewelry ain't enough. Yeah, I don't believe that, though. All these informants, extravagant, hurt women, they're actually tougher than they actually are. Yes, most of those rats on here that do videos are all woman beaters and stuff. They're very sick. They're like that Borello guy. Like, remember when he grabbed that woman by the neck? That was fucking crazy. But this one right here, this is a real whopper. How embarrassing. Wow. That's very troubling, man. I heard this. I was like, I got to stream this. But I was like, wow, this is crazy. Who would make those kind of sick lies up? And RIP to the dad and the grandpa. But man, why would you lie about your family like that? Three Tails posts his new channel clip. No, there's a new channel. No, I haven't. Have you seen Sakali lose it this week over Marlino? He went to Boca Raton. Wait, he went to where? Stalking Marlino in Boca Raton? That guy Sakali's a dirty rat bastard who robbed his grandmother, and he's what trying to stalk Marlino off him. I'm telling you, their handlers probably tell them to do that. Their handlers probably tell them to do that. Oh, they all want him in jail, man. That's why the organized stalking campaign. You can check it out on Rumble. I got a Rumble channel too, if nobody's subbed to it. We got the stalking Joey Marlino video over on the Skull Bros Rumble channel. And that was real sick. And they all want him in jail. Either it's like, be my friend or I want you in jail. People like Fibby. And the rats, too. The rats want him to be their friends, but he's not going to befriend the rats. So if you can't be their friend, they want you in jail. That's how it works with the informants. And people like Fibby, fanboys. If you don't befriend a fanboy, the fanboy wants you in jail. Yeah, he loves Sakali. He's always saying how tough he is and all this weird rat-loving shit. And then he's going to tell you he grew up in some mafioso family that told him taught him the ropes, all this weird stuff. Fucking sick. Creeps want to be, yeah, Sakali and Gene are creeps. They want to be skinny so bad. Yeah. The thing is, like, that guy never told on people. He never sat down with the government and told on people. So people are going to respect him, you know? And he's never said he was a mob guy anyways. The news said that. They just want the guy in jail. Be my friend or I want you in jail. The skinny guy's photo with a painting of Sakali now. Yeah, there's probably some painting. Well, think about it in the first place. He went and lived with that rat, John Alite. Why? How would someone from the Fibby family, right? Fibby's family, like deep mafia family with 25 gangsters in it, who schooled him. He watched them break people's hands, and he went and lived with an informant. Thank you, Flock. Yeah, I got two of them. I share one of them with Rat Trap City, and the other one's mine. But we got the stalking Joey Marlino video on here. Let me show you this. Hold on. They flagged it down on here last time. Hold on. Show you. Oh, there it is. When stalking Joey Marlino goes wrong. Organized stalking campaign. And that's what it was. Clown, he went late for about 2 years. He was in the life. Yes, Sakali's a clown. No, Joey's not. No, exactly. He's not on there trying to be a gangster or nothing. They just hate him. In response to his channel I built on a quicksand. Doesn't behind breeze. He's with his nephew. That's a demonic demon. When Fibby goes wrong. Rumble. Don't know what Rumble is. Dell, make a Rumble channel. It's just like YouTube. Rumble. It's just like YouTube, but free speech. It's just like YouTube, but with free speech. Like, you can't get hit for some stupid bullying or something dumb because you called somebody a leper. This is my channel right here. I got 73 followers. I got to learn how to do a live on here. I haven't done a live yet. I'm going to figure that out. Stalking grown men is cringe. Of course it is. That's real weird. Stalking a grown man is fucking sick. Going to their restaurants, like if you see him in the newspaper. Fibby did that to that guy, Lutz. What's his name? Lutz or something? Yeah, Lutz. He's like some cooking or chef dude, some chef guy. Fibby stalked him. He's crazy. The rats will be the only ones who accept Fibby now. Yes. Well, they always did accept him. Fibby is smitten by the skinny guy. Yes, he is. Just scope out the scene. Yes, that was a San Gennaro feast. Yeah, that's the name, Angelo Lutz. Yes. He's like some Jewish dude who was like grew up with them guys and shit. And Fibby went to his like restaurant and fucking sat in his restaurant like a psycho. And that doc about Joey, I was shocked. Really? What? Oh, that stupid documentary. I didn't watch it. Why would he participate in something like that? He's got to be a fucking jerk off too. Then anybody that would participate in those documentaries is a fame whore jerk off. Anybody going to go sit in a documentary where after they show you, they're going to show 10 stool pigeons calling guys mobsters and shit? Stupid. Skinny buried me on YouTube. Now I chase ghosts. Is he doing the ghost stories? I just actually found out one of my friends in the neighborhood passed away over here. Actually, very sad. Second generation Italian family chain. Lots Zario or something. All right, he's like a second generation Italian. Oh, gotcha. But isn't he like a chef or something? That's like Fibby went down to his restaurant or something like that. Yeah, he was a friend in the neighborhood. He was an older gentleman. Nice dude. He was like into bikes and shit, fixing bikes. He was a whole Puerto Rican guy. He was a good guy though. It's actually sad. New Irish Catholic. All right, so he's an Irish Catholic. Well, whatever the dude is, Fibby went and stalked him. And he was on that documentary. I won't watch those documentaries. I didn't watch that stupid documentary. What was it called? Sin City? I wouldn't watch that. I can't watch those things. They got all informants on there telling informant stories. I can't watch that shit. It gets on my nerves. Was in Milan, Michigan with the guy. Oh, really? He was in Milan, Michigan? That's where my cousin was. Yeah. Remember that other guy used to come over here? I don't want to say his last name, but the guy Johnny. He was in jail with my cousin in Milan, Michigan. It's a federal joint. Back in 98, 97, 98, around there. I remember my cousin used to always call home. Raymond Jr. was there with them too. They were all sent to Milan, Michigan for a while. She was own chickies and Phillies. Own chicks? What's chicks? I don't know what that is. Those are the stores he went in or the restaurants that Fibby went to? That's embarrassing. What the fuck? What a weirdo. Those people must look at him like he's crazy. Picture someone trying to seek you out because you're on a documentary, right? It's like, hey, I seen you on a documentary. Can I be your friend? It's like, no, get away from me, freak. Run, freak. No, leave me alone. That's super cringy. It's his restaurant. All right, the guy's got a restaurant. I think Fibby hates him now. Because the guy probably said, hey, dude, get out of my fucking restaurant. What are you, crazy? Why are you talking to people in here? He's probably going up to people telling them John Q stories. That movie John Q was hilarious. This movie was so fucking funny. Hold on, where is it? Right here. Fibby Q, right here. If you want to laugh, you go watch this movie. This is Fibby, man. This Don Q, he was like a crazy guy from New York who believed he was a mob guy in his head. It was fucking crazy. It was literally Fibby. Right here. Amanda Sante plays some crazy guy, and all the neighborhood knows he's crazy. They know he's like mentally ill, and he lies about everything. It was fucking funny, man. That was real funny. He took a pinch in front of a restaurant. That's what he said too, ain't it? Who makes up that kinds of shit? Right? You're gonna be fucking nuts, man. And aren't you not even ashamed or embarrassed of making up these crazy stories that all are contradictory? They all contradict each other. Don Q. That Don Q. If you didn't see this movie, go watch it. I'll drop the link in here. It is fucking funny, boy. I laughed so hard. And at the end, when they took his shrine, his sister destroyed his shrine. He had like a mafia shrine, and they took his shrine. And once they took his shrine away, he went fucking nuts. Like he went totally batshit crazy when they took his shrine away. This is Don Q. He thinks he's a mob guy. Let me try with the shrine. When is this other shit popping up on X's and stuff, man? This was hilarious. And then Al Capone would talk to him like a fake Al Capone. It was fucking horrendous. Yeah, he has the Asian girl. He met some Asian girl and she said hi to him and he fell in love with her. Fucking funny as all hell. And then Vincent Pastore was like some guy who made mob shows, and Fibby Q seen him, and it was hilarious, man. You got to watch that. Had that guy beat up before. Find out I think he is. I'd take a pinch for any one of those guys. Imagine saying something crazy. I'd take a pinch for any one of them guys. Like, what? You know, the only pinches he's getting is Pierre pinching his backside, right? When Pierre pinches his ass. Imagine that. You don't even know these people. Like, I'll take a pinch. Who even talks like that? I'll take a pinch. Stop watching movies for any one of them guys. That's fucking sick. That's when he loved Fibby. Yeah, he said that. I'll take a pinch for any one of those guys. You don't even know them people. Why would you get in trouble for some guy you don't even know? What's up, Bella? Right? Why the fuck would you get in trouble for some guy in some other state you don't even know? Like, I know he didn't do it. I did it. I'm a fanboy. I stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Who, me? Yeah, you. Couldn't be. Then who? Right? I stole the cookie. Like, he didn't do it. I did it. What a fucking delusional is right. The delusion you have to even say something stupid and cringy and gay like that. Like, that's like me, I don't know, making like, yeah, I'm going to go to Chicago and try to meet people in Chicago. And anybody gets in trouble, I'll go to jail for you. I'll get in trouble for you, Mr. Chicago guy I don't know. Fucking weirdo. Never seen nothing like it. In a few days, I'll be streaming on my other channel again. I got to wait for it to pop up. I'm still fighting Fibby's strike. I'm surprised Fibby didn't strike this, so he will. But that's all right. I can beat your strikes now, Fibby. What an idiot. It wants me to log in. I might have to set it up again. Yeah, I had trouble with it, Griggs, big time. Somebody had to make me this. I couldn't make one. I joined it a long time ago, and it wouldn't let me do it again, man. Yeah, more like I'll help you get locked up, right? Now, picture anybody involved with any kind of criminal activity, right? He had more strikes than Randy Johnson. Remember when he hit that seagull? That was one of the best. I was watching Sports Center that night that it happened. I wasn't watching the game, but Sports Center that very night when Randy Johnson hit that seagull. You'll never see that again in baseball. You'll never see that again. That's for sure. Fucking crazy. Fibby would probably go to prison and pretend he was something. Well, he really wouldn't. Fibby wouldn't go get arrested for somebody. Why would you? You're going to be crazy. You don't even know somebody. Can you come take a Chirac, a pinch for Fibby? I'm surprised Fibby doesn't say he's Little Dirk's nephew. You know my nephew, Little Dirk? You know my cousin, King Von? FGB Butter? Right? Shit, you know my grandson, Tay 600? Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Nolan Ryan was a badass. 69 Mets he came up with. That's crazy, man. And if he fell in love with Chicago drill music, like Larry Hoover's my uncle. Dirk is the homie. Yeah, Dirk's Fibby's big homie. Yeah. Crazy story starring Fibby. Crazy story. Yeah, Fib Vaughn. Fib Vaughn. He's like King Kong. Fucking crazy, man. Dirk is the homie. That dude's he's in a lot of trouble. Yeah, Little Dirk's his nephew. 5K strikeout card. He throws 7 no-hitters, right, Nolan Ryan? With Vaughn and Herbo. Fuck. Vaughn G. Herbo. That's probably true. You're from Chicago, right, Nick? Yeah, Nick, you're actually from Chicago. Piggy the Fibby Mob Hump. Durkee knows everything about ball cards. Oh, he didn't know nothing about baseball cards. I remember I had somebody hit him up on Instagram and ask him how much for the baseball cards, and he wouldn't even give him the number of the card. The guy's like, "All right, let me look the card up. Give me the number." Durkee wouldn't give him the number of the card. The guy's like, "How am I supposed to buy your cards for 50 grand if you won't give us the number? Like, give me a fucking break." Fucking crazy. Piggy's political. Is he going to run for politics? Piggy Hawk, fucking running for a congressman. Bezu. Yeah, Fibby. Yeah, Fibby's THF Bezu. Yeah, R.I.P. It's his uncle. That's the kind of crazy shit that I bet you there's people that say that stuff. There's crazy people on YouTube, man. People that say they're Neil Armstrong's nephew, right? Philadelphia. Look at that. That's so funny. Philadelphia. Philadelphia freedom. That's fucking crazy. That is just usually is those the yeah. Oh, you got two Chicago people there. Dirk boy, he got mispronounced. The word talks out of his ass. He's Dirk. He's crazy, man. Well, little Dirk's in a lot of trouble. He's got people that are testifying against him. His friend from Atlanta, that one guy, Vanny, whatever his name is. I think they were already set up by the feds. He was using his credit card to buy ski masks and shit. Yeah, I'm not from the low end, but my girl grew up near Parkway Gardens. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's the King Von area. Michelle Obama was born there. The first lady, the old first lady. She grew up in Parkway Gardens. Yeah, Fibby's not from 63rd. Fibby's not from 63rd. Fibby hates 63rd. Fib Vaughn. Fucking crazy. But that was a very crazy from the south side suburb, Halston. Yeah, they go by as the lower the near the city you go is the lower the street is or something like that. I watch a lot of that true crime drill music stuff where like the dudes are crazy. They'll go right on the internet and talk about murders they committed. It was crazy. I seen some documentaries on it. It's pretty nuts. Lions going down. Correct. It was offering Lucy $750 and anything else would be a long time. That's what Trump people got going. Get those idiots out of here. Harvey World. Well, had someone pass away. Man, 159th. Yeah, he got killed in Atlanta, though, over a fight. He went to punch some other rapper in the face, and their friends pulled out guns. And the cops pulled out guns, and everybody was shooting at each other. It's like, dude, you made it out of those neighborhoods. Like, stop doing the gangster shit. You're just going to be in jail. Bushwhackers. What's going on? God bless you, JJ. Fibby is with the Bloodhound. Bloodhound Little Jeff. Yeah, Bloodhound Little Jeff. Bloodhound Little Fibby. Yeah. That's Fibby. I don't know the song. I forget how it goes. What? Bloodhound Little Fibby. That video was crazy, though. We just streamed, right? Like, that was tapped. Likes to type that lost Virginia to his grandma. Maybe grandpa, right? Lopping the prick out. That was weird. Love staying in the streets after making yeah, that's crazy. The smart ones, like what's that guy? That Chief Keef guy? He left. He was smart. He got right out of there. Actually, everybody knows who you are. They're gonna try to kill you, right? And rob you. I guess so once you make money in those areas, you gotta get out. You can't stay there. Because if you make a song and you're making fun of people's dead friends, they're gonna want to kill you. That's how a lot of those guys got killed, being seen in the videos, right? You're getting seen in those videos. Now you're a target. People know who you are, what you look like. So if somebody made fun of their dead cousin or friend in that video, they're going to try to kill you. Smoking on a Fibby pack. Smoking on a Fibby pack. Fibby straight up smoking Tuka. Fibby, what are you smoking? I'm smoking Tuka. Fibby smoking Tuka. That kid's mind, he is a psychopath. But Fibby, don't go. Fibby, you are fragile. I need you to stay here, Fibby. And we need more stories, more fantastic stories from Fibby. Fucking hilarious. Smoking on a Fibby pack. That's too funny. Smoking on a Fibby pack. Wow. What was that other? What's that song he did? Crazy, not Crazy Story. Fibby took her to the O. Fibby took her to the O. Fibby took her to the O. Remember that girl he had at the house? Oh, up on the drill. Yeah, MRE knows his drill shit for sure. Yeah. I like the STLEBT guys, the underdogs. I like the underdogs, the guys who didn't have all the money and shit like that. The guy who got shot in the head, Wooski, I liked him. The song Computers, Fibby Computers, all these little fibbers and Fibby's computers. That Fibby Q video was classic, man. Those stories were fucking insane. And just think about that story, like it made no sense neither. Like, was a beast. Well, he's not dead yet. He got wounded in the head. He got shot in the head, but it fucked him up. I'm sure he takes seizures, the poor bastard and shit, right? But I like those guys because they didn't have all the money and shit. The other dudes had money. They were putting money on people's heads and all that shit. But it was very fascinating to watch from like a true crime aspect, right? It was pretty tapped. Yeah, there's probably 20 Wooskis, Dooskis. No, that guy was the one who got killed. Fibby, the guy was on live YouTube in front of King Von's and more. Oh, yeah, that's FGB. That's Cash. Yeah, that was a dumb move of him. Going in front of the King Von mural. That was stupid. He ended up dead for that. He ended up dead. A shot on one of my stations. No shit. 116 in Pulaski. Wow. Oh, that's pretty tap, Nick. Little Reese. Yeah, he had that good Sean. Oh, that good Sean. He had that good Sean, that good song. What was that song? He only had like one hit, I believe. With the Michael Jordan shit in it. It was a good video. It had all Michael Jordan stuff in it or whatever. Crash outs. Yeah, sadly, I guess who the fuck? I don't know how that even sprung up. People making videos and admitting to murders in videos. Like those cops let that shit go for years until they caught on, and then they solved a whole bunch of murder cases. Right? Like that's fucking crazy. Yeah, Cash out. He was sleeping with Chief Key. I don't know if he was sleeping with his mom. I have no idea, but no, his name was Cash. Maybe Cash out too. I don't know, but Cash. That's the other dude's brother. His brother's smart. He didn't do that. He didn't go in front of those mirrors. He should have known he was going to get killed or after doing that, right? Especially when everybody knows who you are. You don't know who other people are. You might see somebody and you don't know who they are, and that's like the guy's little cousin or something. He's going to kill you. Yeah, FGB Cash. That's him. Yes. I liked him too. He had some good songs. But he just, I don't know, he wanted to go in front of a mural. And, well, that's the only way you really make money is to just dead people, I guess. So that's a really, it's a shame on the people who fund that music because literally it's leading to a whole bunch of people dying. A whole bunch of people getting fucking killed in their community. Like, I don't know how the fuck, that's fucking sick, man. Sick. Yeah, Chicago is crazy, for sure. Yeah, these dudes literally making songs and bragging about murders in their songs. That's insane, dude. That's not normal. Yeah, blood money. Yes. I'm smoking on an MRE pack. Fibby Loman Petriarca Gotti the Fifth. Oh man, Rapper 69 went to Ola. Yeah, that 6'9" guy. I remember that. I remember he was an idiot. He went there at 4 a.m. He went there at like 4:30 in the morning when everybody was sleeping. He's like, "Look, I'm here to fight everybody." That dude's not all there. The 6ix9ine guy. He's fucking crazy. He's like a super rat bastard. He joined the Blood Gang. He joins the Bloods and sends them off to kill his enemies. And he tells on them. Like, what the fuck? And then he gets mad and they extort him or something. Vlad be asked on shit. Fuck Vlad. I don't like those culture vultures. They just want to help people go to jail. And yeah, I get it. People are like, well, they're dumb enough to talk about it. True, but still, you got a platform for dumb people to come up and tell murders and shit like that. And you don't ask them nothing about their music. It's all fucking murders. Yes, you hire degenerates and they get mad and they do degenerate things. Exactly. They shot Chief Keef. I don't think that guy's dead. I don't. He don't come out with any songs. I don't think. The only song I know of him is "Don't Like." That came out in like the early 2011s. I don't know if he's even still singing. I'm not a fan of the pop music. The boss saw people pressing R.I.P. Little JoJo. Yeah, that little dude. He was a character. He's another one who went riding his bike after making that video. It's like, dude, you're gonna go riding your bike? Funded by the DOJ. Yeah, I wouldn't put that. Sounds about right. Funded by the Department of Justice. None of them like DMX. He was nuts. Wu Tang got dirty. Yeah, he passed away from like alcohol or something. The DMX guy. Who did Vlad get done? I don't know. I know a few people went to jail for his for going on his show. I don't know any who specifically their names, but hey, Walmart keeps popping up with their $98 smart TVs. All right, well, I'm going to end this, folks. Thanks for coming and watching. Stay tuned. My other channel will be back up, but make sure you sub to my Rumble channel. My other channel will be back up shortly. Have a good one. God bless everybody. Fibby